Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review. How's everybody doing today? It's kind of a beautiful fall day here in western New York. We got the sun shining a little bit. It's about 60 degrees. No complaints. It's supposed to be almost 80 here on Halloween. I can't even believe that. That's crazy. But anyway, should make trick-or-treating fun. No rain, warm. Can't ask for more than that. I wanted to weigh in on this set because, there's no point in going into a huge, my typical 20 to 25 minute, review on them because they've already been reviewed by everyone, literally. So, the Truthear Hexa seems to be, I would say, pretty universally liked. And in some cases loved, and in some cases liked a little bit less. But, that's what the hobby is about. It's about differences, what your preferences are. But I did want to weigh in sort of in general on my feelings about the Hexa. I've had a couple of, people say, how come you haven't done this? Or the Hexa is so much better than that set that you reviewed, and, that kind of stuff. So it's actually nice to be able to speak on it for real after listening to it for a couple of days and putting through the test tracks and a couple of albums and all that kind of stuff. So we'll do a quick unbox and specs because I don't want to take a lot of time on this. The Hexa is a hybrid. It is a single DD 3BA set, four drivers on each side. That's why I keep saying 4 apparently. You've got a sensitivity of 120 decibels, pretty easy to drive, impedance of 20.5 ohms, your frequency response of 8 Hz to 40 kilohertz, and a good old oxygen-free copper silver-plated cable. Looks like the diaphragm material is a PU LCP composite, so that's a fairly, for the dynamic driver, that's a fairly standard, materials. So yeah, on the surface, it obviously is a set that has some potential. It's an $80 price point, although I'm sure could be had for considerably less considering it's been out for forever. Well, in terms of IAMs, it's been out for quite a long time. I didn't check the actual release date. I'm thinking it was probably either late 22 or early 23. I think it's going on 2 years now. And the fact that people are still talking about it, still buying it, still enjoying it, well, that speaks to how good it actually is. Because, if it were just an everyday, whatever, $80 set, then people wouldn't use it as a benchmark, which they do for under 100 hybrid. And people wouldn't tout it as being, just a great all-around IAM. I won't disagree with that, but I do have my own opinion, of course. Anyway, about where it sort of falls into my rankings of things, and it may be contradictory to some, but certainly not to all. Inside the box, you got this little stand you can put together if you want to. This is my buddy's set, so he didn't do that. I'm not about to try it either. You've got the Truthear case, which is leather, or at least sure feels like leather. Nice leather pouch, so pocketable for sure. Not super protective, but that's okay. And then here's your cable. This, it's a nice cable. It's not super tangly, although it is a little bit. It is not super weighty or thick. It's comfortable. It matches the IMs. The IMs are, flat black on the faceplate. So it's a pretty handsome, masculine kind of packaging, or design, I should say. Packaging, well, you got your waifu on there, which Truthear likes their waifus for sure. I don't mind them, I don't mind them. Way back in, was it August of last year? Somebody called me a weeb, and I did a little stupid short about it. I don't think I am, but it was kind of cool to learn what that was all about. Alright, so IMs here, obviously you can see they've been put in and taken out several times. I'll see if I can get them out without, I think I actually had to use something to get them out. There we go, okay. Shape the shape is really interesting on these. I feel like, yeah, let's throw the headlamp on. I mean, it's about as simple as you can get. It's got nice, like, an angled faceplate there, and then clear-ish, mostly clear on the shell itself, so you can take a look-see in there and see your dynamic driver and balanced armatures, acoustic tubes. Terminate there. Couple of openings there for the tubes. Yeah, pretty standard stuff, you know. They're light. They're 3D printed resin. Got kind of, like I said, a matte, sort of masculine type of feel to them. The shape concerned me because of how angular it is and not really rounded, but they are comfortable as all get out. They're small, you know, so there's not like they're not making any hot spots on your ear, which is great. So for long listening sessions, not a problem. Tip selection's nice too. No complaints. I mean, honestly, really nice. Normal bore and narrow bore on your silicone tips, and these obviously would be the large if they were there, but they weren't, and that's okay because I didn't use those tips anyway. I just used the good old divinous velvet and the new favorite Fayule, I think it's something like that. Fayol, H570. Those are the latex ones. They're pretty sweet, honestly. So yeah, no complaints on the Unbox. No complaints on the build quality. Cable, yeah, you know, it could be better, but it's nothing to complain about really. Ear tips, fine. You know, everything is I think as it should be for an IM in this sort of, you know, $50 to $100 range. And they kept the packaging pretty simple and pretty small, which is also nice too, because who's looking for a super grand presentation on a sub $100 IM? Not me. Don't care. So there we go. As if you didn't know all of that stuff already. I'm sure many of you have this set. I'm sure many of you have already seen reviews of this set, so I'm not going to be telling you anything that you don't know already. But we will do a quick sonic impressions, and I will comp it to a couple of my favorites in this price range, and yeah, and then we'll call it good. So, on the Hexa, I'll bring up the graph. There we go. Let's zoom in on this a little bit for you. As you can see, the left channel is green and the right is orange. You guys can't see the colors on this, I know that. But let's just say the left channel is the higher one. The channel matching is pretty impressive, as you can see, all the way up till, you know, beyond the point at which the IEC 711 is accurate, really, beyond 8K. So this stuff doesn't really mean anything, except that it does have some treble extension. You know, it does stay, you know, pretty energetic without being fatiguing in the treble. It's a very neutral sound signature. I like it because I feel like it does a really good job of balancing things out. The ear gain, you know, lower treble is just slightly above where the bass and sub bass sort of peaks out by a decibel or so. Maybe not even really a decibel actually. So yeah, the overall presentation of this set is it's balanced. It's balanced, and it is as a result of that balance, just a really nice all-rounder. It didn't have problem with any genre that I threw at it. It was fine, and that, you know, includes my usual run of classical and jazz to pop and rock and metal and some electronica and EDM. It really kind of like it was impressive. It was impressive how versatile it is. And the presentation, it's not mind-blowing. It's not, you know, not one area sticks out over another. The bass, I wish maybe it had a little more mid-bass. You know, if you look at the Zero Red, that has a lot more mid-bass. But for what it's worth, I don't think it hurts the set. I think that there's enough sub-bass there, and I think the mid-bass is definitely present. if not, super punchy or super heavy. And that's okay. It keeps the mids clear and clean. It's not a super warm set. It's a pretty clinical presentation. Um, what it allows for you is, like I said, it gives it gives it the versatility, and allows you to hear right through from bottom to top of the frequency response. Nothing's being hidden. Nothing like the treble isn't like overbearing or piercing. The ear gain is moderate. It's just kind of a nice, I could just call it easygoing. It's a nice easygoing set. I think if we just drop in the comps a little bit, it does remind me a little bit of the Voodoo Verse 1. It did, in some ways, remind me of the, what was the other one that I really, actually, it reminds me a little bit of the Arty T10 in its versatility, not necessarily in the overall sound signature, but what else? No, it was brighter than the Gimlet. Pandemon was way too bright. Yeah, it's got kind of like that 7 Hz Sonus thing going on. I don't have that set anymore because I gave it away. I'm trying to think of anything else that it really comps well with. Super Mix 4, Simgot, not dissimilar to that, actually, for half the price. Well, not anymore. I think the Super Mix 4 has dropped down to around 120 every day. It says sale price, but I see it for 120 more often than not. But if this is on sale, it's closer to 60, so yeah, okay, we'll call it like half the price. For half the price, you're getting, I would say, 85% of the performance of the Super Mix 4. So, as far as a budget set goes, and it's not in that budget less than 50 price range, but as far as a value set, I'll put it that way, as far as a value goes, it's excellent. It's an excellent value. I'll just say this, and I'm not saying it to be snarky, and I'm not saying it to be controversial, and I'm not saying it to piss anybody off. Even though I was very impressed with the performance, even though I felt like the presentation was pretty engaging, it did leave me wanting. It just wasn't exciting. It was not as exciting as I was hoping that it would be. But listening to it before I looked at a graph or did my own graph, I understand why now. And I understand that's not what the goal of this set is. What I think the goal of this set is giving people that have just sort of played around with like the original Truthear Zero, or like a Moondrop Chew or a Tangzu Waner or something like that, like giving them an actual direct upgrade, like an actual like, oh wow, so this is what better is. Like, this is what better sounds like. This is what like a really good IEM sounds like. And I do believe it is really good. I don't think it's necessarily tuned to my preference, but I'm not going to take away from driver quality, which is really good. I'm not going to take away from tuning style because I think it's very universal. To me, it just lacked a little bit of pizzazz. And that's it. I don't have a knock on it other than that. I think it's a really nice IEM. I think it's a good value. I think it's accessorized well enough. It's easy enough to drive, so you don't have to have some big old desktop amp behind it. You can go with a straight dongle, or you want to do something like the Kiwi Ears Allegro. That would, for $60, that would get the job done. Not a necessity. I like this set for what I think the aim, in addition to being like the direct upgrade to the value or ultra budget to budget sets. The other part of it is I also feel like that it's a gateway IEM for people that have never heard one before. For somebody that's used to dropping 120 or 150 for whatever version of the AirPods are, or 250 for AirPods Pro 3 or whatever is going on right now, like, these would compete with those sets and give people like, oh, I get it now. Like, I understand that wired is better for fidelity. I understand that I don't have to spend $250 or even $150 to get something that sounds really, really good. The main issue is getting them past the wireless, and love my wife. She's an amazing person, and she appreciates IEMs like that I've let her try out. Like, she loves, like, especially the good ones. Of course, she's got good taste. But the problem is the convenience of wireless is really just, it's a stumbling block, because if she's going to work out or if she's going to go garden or whatever, she's grabbing her Beats Fit Pro or she's grabbing her AirPods because she doesn't have to deal with the wire. And that's a problem that we're just going to have. Those of us who love the cables, and understand that they are, at least at this point in time, far superior to anything Bluetooth. But that's the thing. It's hard to get people off of the wires. But a set like this would be an argument, because you don't have to spend as much money. You don't need something fancy to drive them. You just need your phone and a little dongle, and it's going to be better sounding than probably anything up to the AirPods Pro. Maybe even the AirPods Pro. I haven't listened to the new one, so I don't know. But AirPods Pro 2 is pretty good from what I understand. It's still Bluetooth, though, so only gets you so far. So yeah, that's kind of what I feel about it. If I had to rank it, I would probably put it in the top of the third tier or the bottom of the second tier. And that's just because I think that now, there's just a lot. I mean, like the EW 300 from SimGuy, like, oh my god, I can't believe how good that set is. Like, that's ridiculous. Even sets like the Titan S2 or the Let's Shure SO8 give you more excitement, give you better technical performance, in my opinion, than the Hexa does. And so for its time, it was a beast. For its time, I think that it was definitely a market setter. It was like, okay, Hexa just threw down, or Truthear just threw down with the Hexa. It sort of made everybody go, okay, well, we better get our shit together in the under 100 category, because if not, we're going to get left in the dust. And for doing that, Truthear did all of us a huge favor, honestly. So, yeah, mad props for that. And it is a set that if I see on sale for like $55 or $60 and I want to have a little piece of history, kind of like my Moondrop Starfield, original Starfield, yeah, I might pick it up just so that I have it, just so that I can say, hey, this is one of the game changers, But I don't have any desire to just run out and do that at the moment, because so many new things, as you guys know, so many new things coming out every time you turn around. Like, who had even heard of the Open Audio Siren? Not me, until Harrison was like, hey, dude, do you want to try this? And I'm like, yeah, yep, I do, yep. Anyway, I can't believe those sets showed up so quick. So we're going to be jumping on those really quick. I think I'm going to wait till after there's a little bit of a lull after the 11/11 sales, before I get into like the Titan versus Titan S2 like comp video, and maybe anything that's sort of a little bit older, because I know that everybody's going to be chomping at the bit in all sorts of price categories, take advantage of those sales. So I want to try to be as current as I can with my content for y'all for those upcoming sales. I will mention this. The sale is live on Syeindunce Audio. So if you are a subscriber, use that code. My name, Chris, 1111. So CHRIS 1111. And that will get you 20% off the Tipsy Spica 260, the AngelEars CVJxAngelEars, and the TRN Azure Dragon. Just get that one. Well, the Spica is great too, but the Azure Dragon for like, what is that going to come out to? Like $150, $160? That's pretty sick. That's a pretty sick deal. So I'll link that up. There's really no need to link the Hexa. You guys all know where to find it. It's on Amazon. It's on Ollie. Just, if you've always been curious, I'm going to say go ahead. If you've always wondered how good it actually is, you're not going to be disappointed. Yeah, catch it on sale if you can. It gets a recommend for sure. I should put it in the bottom of the second tier. I think that's where it belongs. Definitely is good enough for that. All right, bunch of links in the description. Check them out. Check out Syeindunce's new selection. They've really ramped up their selection. It's changed a lot over the past few months, and there's some pretty sick sets in there, including my BGVP DMA, which might end up being my 1111 purchase after all. We'll see how it goes. All right, that's going to do it for now. Be careful, be safe, be nice. Love y'all. Nothing but peace to you, and we'll see you soon.